MOP, really important to mention. All of these controllers, and this has become much more relevant again on CO2, as people will know, on TEVs, TXVs, you could get a TXV that had a limited amount of charge in the sensing bulb, so that when you came off of something like a gas defrost, it didn't bang the valve to a massive, huge opening and flood back before it could react, or to control the pressure coming back to your plant. So what they've done on all these electronic controllers is replicate that. They're all sensing the suction pressure. They've got a function that says, if the suction pressure is above this point, don't open the valve anymore. Now, you can use that to your advantage, especially on CO2 when you're trying to regulate load or stop the plant venting if there's a problem, and you can't get the suction under control. But it can fight you as well. So you see the settings for MOP there. You can set that very carefully. Let's say if you want to control load on HT, you can set that to limit the opening at like -1, -2 C evaporating. But if you're operating something like floating suction, that can become an issue because you can inadvertently float the suction up to a point where you've hit the MOP setting in the valve. Same with Danfoss, and the valves will all start locking up. And you'll be like, why have all my cases stopped working? The evaporating temperature is still cold enough for them to work. So it can be your friend. It can help control your load, but just bear in mind, be very careful if you're using floating suction.
Yeah, and definitely understand. Go in. That's why we put it here. Go in and read it and understand what's happening, because it's going to close. It's going to limit what's going to go through that valve through the suction pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it so happens you hit MOP when your valve is shut, that's the point you'll stay at. It just won't open at all, and you'll end up eventually with all the valves shut.
We just wanted to dive into, got to get into the fault codes. Not most of the time when you come in to a call, you're probably, not all the time, but you're going to have a lot of time. There's going to be error codes, troubleshooting. Get to the troubleshooting section of the manual. This is the Corel one, which I had a hard time to find this one on their website. I actually had to get it from one of their customers' websites, and then the Danfoss one. Yeah. But get into these. If you read the codes, figure out, oh, this is a high alarm, high temperature alarm. Well, what does that mean? Well, something caused the temperature to increase. Now, us as a technician need to figure that out.
If you read no other part of the manual, get the fault codes because that's going to give you a place to start. And as I say, like EFS is in there to say stepper motor's got something wrong with it, for example. A very common one to see. And S6 error on the Danfoss for transducer and things like that. Really common stuff to see.